Welcome back to Bethy Marie. Today I am going to show you how to make shepherd's pie. Well, technically it's cottage pie because I'm going to be using ground beef. Real shepherd's pie uses ground lamb. So make it however you like, but let me show you how I like to make it. The first thing that you need to do is make up some mashed potatoes. I like to use russet potatoes, and I'm going to be using about 1.5 to 2 pounds of potatoes. I have water boiling, and I'm just going to be cutting up these potatoes into large chunks so that they cook a little bit faster. You're going to boil the potatoes in the water until tender. Alright, so I've drained the potatoes. As you can see, they're really tender and breaking very easily with a fork. So now we know it's time to mash them. I have no liquid in here yet, I'm just mashing the potatoes. At this point, I'm going to add in half a stick of butter and mash that in with the potatoes. Now I'll add a little bit of cream. You can use milk or half and half, it's up to you. You can adjust the amount of cream that you add based on how you like your mashed potatoes. I like mine a little smoother. Finally, I'm going to add some salt and pepper. In order to get started on our meat mixture, we are going to go ahead and slice up 1 large onion. To cook our onions, we'll start by adding 3 tablespoons of butter to a large pot. Add the onions. And cook until they're softened. Now that our onions have softened and are starting to brown ever so slightly, we're going to add our meat. I'm going to be using 1.5 pounds of ground beef. It's a good idea to use a leaner ground beef so that you don't have quite as much fat, but any ground beef will work. Stir this around and cook until the meat is browned. Now that the meat is browned, I'm going to add in a little bit of salt and pepper. And I'm going to sprinkle 3 tablespoons of flour over the top of the meat. Stir around to coat the meat in the flour. This is going to help thicken the gravy that you're about to make. All right, so now that my meat is coated in flour, I'm going to add 1 cup of beef broth. Stir that. And now you can add in a little additional seasoning if you like. I'm adding 1 teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce and 2 teaspoons of rosemary. Now we're going to let the meat cook and simmer for a few minutes until it's nicely thickened. All right, so our meat is nice and thick, and I'm going to go ahead and add in some vegetables. I'm going to use a frozen bag of vegetables. This is 1 pound of a corn, carrot, pea mixture, and I'm just going to dump it right into the meat mixture. stir it around until it's well incorporated. All right, so now we're going to put our meat mixture that we just finished into our baking dish. Once the meat is in the dish, you can top it with mashed potatoes. Spread the mashed potatoes around until they evenly cover the top of the meat. And make sure you get them all the way over to the edge. One tip to make this a little more fancy is you can actually pipe the mashed potatoes on with a piping bag and a large tip. Once you've spread your mashed potatoes across the top of your shepherd's pie, you can sprinkle with a little bit of grated cheddar cheese. This, of course, is optional, but I love the little extra touch that it gives. Well, now your shepherd's pie is ready to go into the oven. Put it on top of a baking sheet and put it into a 400-degree oven for approximately 25 minutes. Well, here we have our shepherd's pie fresh out of the oven. It's still hot and it smells so good. I can't wait to have a bite. I'll link the recipe in the description of this video, and I would love it if you would subscribe, share this around, comment, whatever you like. Happy cooking, and I'll see you around.